All right, people, we are back again. Congratulations.
I want to say this. If I could sing, I would sing it. I's no ways tired. I'm going to keep on keeping on. That's the way I feel, bro. I feel like that. I look at this situation. You know, I always say this. A friend of mine's always call it white people shit. But the point is that when I look across this country, I's no ways tired. Regardless of what people think it's a third world country. Our president said that. Said we was a third world country, turning into a third world country. That's a lie. If anything, he's helped making it be a third world country. He's trying to decipher or cipher all our disposable income, spend it on gas and food. The oil people gonna double their income, 100%. Food people are making all kinds of money, profit off of their stuff because they didn't double their prices. But I believe this. Karma is a bitch. Karma will get their butt. It will get your butt. So just be patient, people. They'll get theirs. So I ain't nowhere else tired.
Just when you think you're doing all right and you're doing good, these nasty fuckers will come up there and use everything at their disposal to knock you back down again. This morning, there was a state senator from Virginia. She was she's the president pro tem, and she was the one that directed the Virginia redistricting plan, and she was responsible for getting it done. Well, the FBI raided her office this morning, told her and her staff to get out, and they went in there and started rambling through it and taking boxes and boxes of stuff, saying they had an order from the court and stuff to come in and raid her office because supposedly she had done something wrong. We have no idea why they did it right now or anything, but they made a big to do out of it. And they called up Fox News and told them about it, what they were planning on doing, and had them sitting there when all this shit was going on. So they had their little news people right outside her office and reporting on this state senator. And she's black. These some dirty motherfuckers. Well, excuse my French people. I'm sorry. MFs. These some dirty MFs. Make sure, people, all you guys out there who are in political office and stuff, this is what they use to intimidate you. We have no idea what reason that they came in there. They haven't said anything. All they did was come in there with their badges and said, "We the FBI and we're raiding your office. Get out." Got a court order.
Well, Ed, you have to look at it like this. It's the little things that changes the ship, turns the ship. And the resistance is trying to keep that ship going forward. So they're constantly looking at the little stuff because the little stuff is keeping that ship straight. But the more little things that you got, they can't keep up with it. You said that the other day. It's the little things. But you got to have more people doing the little things to keep that ship straight. Because they're trying to turn it, bro. They're trying to turn it.
They trying it, and they're gonna do every damn thing they can, and they're gonna use our law enforcement agency and everything as their weapon.
Yeah. They got to do their job, do what they
They gonna,
told.
and probably we have no idea what the lady did, what she did wrong, or what.
Probably nothing. They didn't allow these crooked ass judges to get in office. Half of them don't know what they're doing. So, like I said, that's the Democrats' fault. Because this man he should have been out of office in 2017, 2018. But it is what it is now, Ed. And now we're still fighting. And now this right here would make people appreciate democracy, diplomacy, working together. But you always have these anti-people, anti-black, anti-Jewish, anti-Asian, anti-Latino, anti-this, anti-that. So you're always going to have them people, and they're going to be around forever. Besides, and then you have the greedy people who pay the anti-people so they can get what they want. Look at the Dow right now, bro. Almost 50,000. When you only got 30% of the American people being in the Dow. So it's just,
Mm-hmm.
the American people don't need much, bro. A roof over their head, a good job, food to eat, and a good weekend, a decent weekend, and good education. But they're doing everything they can to make sure that the American people, as a whole, now you got your people with the money, they're gonna always be okay. But people that's going from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, that's all they ask for. Get up in the morning, go to work. So many people I have seen, and I don't know how they do it. They done work 30 and 40 years of their life in one place. Now, I could never do that. As long as I worked for a company, it was about 11 years. Then almost another 10 years at another company. But people that work 30 and 40 years at a company dedicated their life for that company. And they get treated like this. And they're not millionaires, bro. They're just regular working people that got them a little house and little car and trying to live their life. But you got these greedy people always looking to make more money. Cipher your disposable income. See, the one thing that these people have here is data. They know how many people retired. The whole thing. I've said this 100 times. They know all of that. And they know how much money is available that these people have. When I say these people, I'm talking about the American people as a whole. Trillions of dollars. And they're trying to get it so that you'll have less money to spend on the things that you want. They keep on talking about taxes, taxes, taxes. How long is the tax break, Ed? How long is that tax break for the average person? Two
Which tax
years.
break? You talking about the one for
The
the
big,
corporate
beautiful
folks?
bill. But the other
Oh,
one,
oh,
the one for the
it's
billionaires
permanent.
and everything, is continuous.
This one that they just did for these rich folks is permanent. That's
I
why
just
the
said
first
that. That's what I said. But
yeah
what I'm saying
the
is,
first time he did it was only for I think 8 years or something like that.
yeah,
And so when he did this one, he said we're gonna make this crap permanent. So
and that's the reason why
and,
I fought the
and
Democrats because they didn't fight to get rid of it.
well, you had them stupid ass fucking like Chuck Schumer who could have stopped the shit back in March of 2025. He could have stopped it. But he sat down there and said, well, we'll wait until September and stuff, and maybe, because if we try to stop him now, Trump going to do something we ain't going to like. That was the stupidest thing that he could have ever done. That in and itself disqualified him from being the minority leader or majority leader of the Senate or anything. Matter of fact, it disqualified him from even being a New York state senator.
He's been disqualified.
He could have
Well,
stopped. He could have slowed. He may not have been able to stop it. I'm not going to put that much stuff on it, but he could have slowed it down. He had a chance to put his hands up there and slow it down. Now they still might have got it through and stuff through some other kind of hoodwinking and gerrymandering or however they do that stuff and reconciliation. He could have. They could have did that. I don't know.
they had
We don't
60.
know,
They had to
but
have 60 votes, and you
at that
had.
time, but they wanted to try to get it through with reconciliation if they could get it done and
They should
stuff
have let them
through
do it.
the parliamentarian. Well, the parliamentarian had already told them that they couldn't do the whole thing through
Well, and that's the reason
reconciliation.
why I said you had those Democrats pass it on through.
That's because he in his infinite wisdom, he said, "I know what I'm doing. We're gonna wait because Trump might do something to us." He was scared from the beginning. You cannot be scared with these knuckleheads.
Well, I don't know what it was. To me, I think it was political. I don't think
It
he was
sounds
scared of
like
nothing.
it sounded like somebody put some money in his pocket and he just
Well, that's
sold
what
us
I'm
down
saying. Political.
he sold us right down the rail because he had a chance to stop it. And I'm pretty sure he's hoping that people don't remember that because they got short memories.
No, that's a lot of people remember it, bro.
Yeah, I do. It's just like it's a picture in my mind of him sitting there and saying that. And the House had already put their roadblock up to it. They had already said we putting out there, we gonna put our hands up and try to stop it. But they squeaked it through the House. But to the person, I have to get a House folks back then that time to the person. Hakeem kept his constituents and stuff in line, and all of them voted against it. But
Oh, that was sweet.
the Republicans had enough to push it through.
Yeah, that was sweet. That was very convenient for him, and he couldn't convince. more than what, two Republicans to go on his side
Who was that?
of King.
No, he couldn't stop it. They didn't have enough votes in the House, the
That's what I'm
Democratic votes in the
saying.
House.
I think two Republicans went against it.
Well, they tried. They had a couple of them and stuff who were kind of hesitant and stuff and wanted to vote with the Democrats and everything, but Trump got to them.
Well, that's what I
With,
said,
with
man. He wasn't very persuasive.
whatever he said to him, I don't know what it was, but they turned around and told they voted against that. They voted for it, and got it through. But
Well,
they had a very thin margin and stuff then, and they got a real
well,
thin margin and
here's
stuff now.
here's what that vote did. It gave them so much money and so many write-offs, so many, uh, you know, it dropped it down to, I don't know what it is, not 23%, and so they basically paying nothing. These corporations and millionaires and billionaires, and the first thing they want to say is we don't have the money. Well, the reason why your ass don't have the money is because these people are not paying their taxes. Now we have over 340 million people in this country, and that's not even counting the undocumented. There's another 40 million, if not more. But we are a capitalist society, meaning that we do all kind of things to make money, whether it's under the table, illegal, or legal. So the money is flowing all over America some kind of way. However, the purpose of the revenue is better schools, to make availability for housing, and support the safety net. Now the safety net is practically gone. So, and these people that's working these, and I won't call them menial jobs, I'll call them working class jobs, making 10 hours, $10 an hour, $12 an hour, $14 an hour. Those people are living from paycheck to paycheck, barely can pay their rent. They have to be on food stamps, and they have to have subsidized housing. And the first thing they want to say is they're lazy. No, they're not lazy. They're working, but their jobs, and then on top of that, Ed, their jobs do not provide health care. Majority of those small businesses these people work for do not provide health care. So that's where Obamacare came in at, to support it. Now the price, they have cut so much of it, now the price is double, triple, and people just say, okay, well, I just can't afford it. And some of these people got small children. Well, if they're lucky enough, they can get their children in some kind of children program, but they won't have insurance. And a lot of people, they're saying, well, I got mine, you get yours. I heard a rapper say that. He's supposed to be so liberated. I got mine, you get yours. Well, that's not what America's supposed to be about. Everybody, sometime or another, need a helping hand. And some people just can't do no better. Unable to do better. you know, a lot of people say, well, that's too bad. Well, you know, everybody's not smart like you, buddy. Everybody can't make that kind of money like you make. You know, making your $80,000, $100,000. You know, they lucky if they make $30,000 a year. And they still got to pay taxes, sales tax, federal tax, income tax, and they got to pay their rent. They got to buy their food, and if they got some kind of car, they got to have insurance. But they got to live off of, you know, and if you got a wife or a girlfriend and she making 20, 25,000, okay, now they living off of 55,000. 55,000, bro, is nothing compared, especially if you got a couple, two, three kids. Not in today's world. Maybe 30 years ago, 55,000, you know, okay, 30 years ago. But not today's prices. This is what makes me so angry with the public, with these governing people. They're sitting up here making over 200,000 and campaign and be able to keep that money, and you know they don't have any, you know, and they make semblance of it and they talk about it, but they ain't doing nothing about it, bro. This is the reason why the people don't vote, because what good is it voting? Because they still struggling. They still can't get adequate insurance for their children or for themselves. So this is the reason why 90 million people don't vote. Because when they go into and walk through their communities and all of that, they don't see no developments going on. Not in their communities. So it's upsetting, man, because this country is too rich. This country will collect $5 trillion. We should be collecting 10. The revenue should be $10 million, just right off Jump Street. I ain't talking about taking people's money and going in there and auditing people. I'm talking about revenue that's supposed to be paid to the government. And if they run it right and spread it out right, this country would be super bad. But no, they cut that shit down. Because the money's out there, bro. These people making trillions of dollars a quarter. You got companies right now that's worth over $3, $4 trillion.
Yep.
And they're saying, you know, who wants to invest in a little small $500 billion company? Now, $500 billion ain't nothing now. So they all investing their money in the top 6 or 7 top companies because they feel this is where their money gonna grow. Them little small size $5 billion, $10 billion companies, they ain't worth a quarter now. They're trying to survive themselves. They're the ones doing all the hiring in small companies. Because there's more small companies and I'm not talking about mid-sized companies, I'm talking about small companies. Your restaurants, your independent filler stations, your cleaners, your plumbing, and on and on. American people is getting hoodwinked by this Barnum and Bailey.
Mhm.
thinking that people, oh, are there people misusing the system? Of course. But that's why you have investigators. That's why you have different people to look into that. But there are people legitimately need that funding so that they can survive week to week, month to month. They're working every day. They're doing all the things they're supposed to do to try to survive. Now we got these knuckleheads. They have really, they do not, I always say it, this has been my saying for 50 years, taxation without representation. Now it's going to really be taxation without representation because they know how to filter that money exactly where they want it to go. And it ain't going to be in the black community. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. So the fact is, I keep saying, people say, well, um, I'm an American, I ain't black. I guess that's what we are now. We ain't black no more here. We just Americans. We just Americans. But the Asians can be the Asians. The Latinos can be the Latinos. They can be Puerto Rican. They can be, from Brazil or any Latin country. You know, Asians, I'm from Vietnam, came here to America. I'm from Italy, came here from America. But we can't be black. So we're just Americans. That's all we are. And the smart, intelligent, uh, genius black people are going to have to be able to have a conversation and galvanize in their area if they're going to run for office to persuade. But then when they run now, they're going to really be black now. They don't even have to mention the word black, but they're going to call them black. So this is going to be a big change, bro. Now you was talking about Miss Jackson, the Supreme Court justice. I'm telling you, she can fight all she wanted, and I praise her for it. But these folks that made up their mind, the children, the people that we have ancestors or slaves, they don't give a shit. You had your shot, you didn't take advantage of it. No more, no more breaks. So if we discriminate against you or throw your thing in the trash, we just didn't want you. You weren't qualified. Forget about discrimination. Forget about prejudice and all that. That's why they chose the right to work states. They can fire you anytime you want if they want to. You ain't got no backup. Then you file a lawsuit for discrimination. You can forget about that. Why'd you fire him? Because we wanted to. What did he do? Nothing. But they really fired you because you black.
Hmm.
They didn't want you. 1 million people last year lost their jobs, and 80% of those people were black. And over probably 60% of them were black women. Now I'm just throwing out numbers. I don't know the exact numbers because we can't get the numbers, bro. We can't get data and statistics. I don't believe a shit thing that come out of their office. Hell, we can't even find out how many military people really actually died or how many people injured. We don't even know shit. We ain't even heard from the doggone pilot who landed in Iran and wrecked this plane in Iran. And nobody hollering about it. Nobody interviewing no injured soldiers. And they tell us that the people on these carriers barely eating. We ain't getting no news, bro. I don't, I sit there and I look at the AP and I look at the different newspapers, try to get some news. They ain't saying shit. You look at the TV, you try to get some news. They ain't saying shit.
You can't believe them.
Hell no, you can't believe them.
You cannot believe them, what they be saying. You cannot believe them. You listen to one station and they say one thing. You listen to another station, they say something else. According
Exactly.
to, according to MSNBC earlier today, after the morning show came on, they had this lady on. I don't know what she be doing, but everything that Trump said, she just brought it out. And she said that that the United States Navy got two ships through the Straits of Hormuz. So they walked them through and they guided them on through the Straits of Hormuz. Now we know that bitch is telling a goddamn lie because they have people now, Ted, who have these satellites up there and they're monitoring that they're going Straits of Hormuz, continuously monitoring it to see what the heck going on. And ain't no damn ships got through. None. Now, instead of one plane being shot down, they said one American plane being shot down. They said two planes now have been shot down by Iran. And Iran said they haven't shot down any damn thing. These Americans don't know where in the hell them two planes is at. Said we ain't shot down nothing. Now if we had a shot down something, we would have told you all. But they done lost them planes and don't know where in the hell they at. We got two jets to refueling. One of them was a big ass refueling jet. They don't know where the hell that motherfucker at. They have no idea. It went off the daggone. It went off the radar screen. You don't know where it's at.
Hell, I saw a headline said, Trump said that we was gonna guide the ships through the straits, right?
He ain't
And
got his
then
shit.
I read an article that he he's reconsidering doing that now. He don't know what the hell he's doing. One minute he said we're gonna guard every ship that comes through there, and then the next minute he turns around and says we're reconsidering.
Well, he's got your boy Rubio out there sitting down there telling the news people that they got some orders and this is what they're going to do. This is what Trump going to do. And it wasn't 1 hour later after he got off the stand, Trump said, well, we shutting down the rescue. We shutting the rescue down. It ain't worth it. People don't know what the hell to believe. You don't know where he's going. Now he's telling people that they got a framework of a peace agreement with Iran. 14, 14-point framework with Iran. It's a framework now.
He's been
And
having that.
and then the Iranian folks said, we don't know what the hell he's talking about. So our plans have not changed since the first time we talked to him and told him about our 10-point plan. It ain't changed at all. We haven't added any or detracted anything to it. It is the same thing. 10 points that they want to be dealing with. Whatever Trump talking about, they have no idea. And you got people here in the United States telling folks on their newscast, yes, uh, we're getting real close to a peace plan here, and Trump has something going on here. And then they have this knucklehead, fathead, whatever he is, dark skinned Indian or whatever it is. He's supposedly sitting over there in Pakistan, and he's telling them, yes, the Pakistanis have said that they have given the plan to Iranians, and the Iranians said they ain't got shit. It
It is the biggest debacle, not the biggest, but one of the biggest.
is the biggest. I tell you, I have in my lifetime. I've been on this earth a long time. I ain't never heard no shit like this. Never. Even during the Bay of Pigs in 1960, when they got the Bay of Pigs going on. And for you folks out there who too young to know about the Bay of Pigs, that was when Russia had decided they were going to bring nuclear weapons into Cuba. And President Kennedy was alive and kicking then. That was a huge, huge thing. It was so bad that some of us, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Harvey knew, and a lot of other folks out there in the world and stuff, our schools and stuff and everything were set up as shelters for a nuclear war. They had signs that they put up and everything. And this is where you need to go if there's a nuclear war inside this, and for the kids who were going to school. It was bad. People were scared for about almost what, about 3 or 4 days and stuff and everything, and finally Russia backed down. That was horrible. This shit that Trump got going on is worse than that. First of all, nobody knows where in the hell he's talking about. Next, you got people out there, Ted, that's telling everybody that he is the greatest president in the world. If it, if Joe Biden was the president, we don't know where we would be at right now. I say y'all got to be the dumbest folks in the world and stuff and everything. Trump got a grip on you guys. I don't know what the hell it is, but they be talking some crazy stuff. Crazy. Yes, he's the greatest president in the world. Yes. And then when he called this daggone thing off, Fox News got on there and said, yes, this is what's supposed to happen here. Trump knows what he's talking about, and we need to follow him and make sure that we back him up. Anybody else who don't back him up, they are treasonous.
Well, you know, those things are kind of humorous to a certain degree. But I'm thinking about these Haitian people. They had immunity, 350,000 of them. And if I'm not for certain, I think it's over in the end of this month. And they have been, working, living in apartments. Probably some of them even bought homes. Some of them been trying to become Americans. And we know the condition over there in Haiti. And some of those people that's been here for 4 or 5 years or maybe longer, this is the only life they know. They have become accustomed to living in America.
Ted,
And they're talking about shipping all of those people out of here.
Ted, if they even thought about it, there ain't no damn way in the world, Ted, I would be going back to Haiti right now. No way. I don't blame him for not going back there. Please don't send me back there. I think I would if they came to get me and stuff, I would escape and head to Canada. Get across the border some kind of way to go to Canada. I go to Mexico before I go back to Haiti. That is one of the worst daggone things in the world, man. I don't know. People that have no idea what they're going on there. They don't know if the gangs is running the daggone country or if they got any kind of government at all there. And anybody who come there to help those folks and everything, they have no idea what's going on. There's no way I could go back there. No way. So them Haitians and stuff who here, if they ask me and stuff, I will let them stay here. Because you cannot send these people back there to that daggone hellhole. It's a hellhole over there. And I don't have no idea how the people who are there right now are living. That's worse than being in one of these uh, ghettos and stuff that we got down here in Philadelphia, New York.
Then okay, and then you have a president who's going to build a big ballroom,
Oh man!
and he collected $300 million.
But they don't. They're already. They trying to approve $1 billion for that place now.
Correct.
The Senate. They went after their committee and said, yes, we're gonna commit $1 billion to that place. Trump said that we
So
weren't gonna pay for that. They're gonna take $1 billion of our tax money, Ted, to put into that place. And they're telling people and stuff in the Senate and stuff, you need to vote for this because we have to have it. They need that $1 billion. Please, y'all, don't let them pass that shit. Don't let them do that. This is horrible. That man tore that building down and didn't have no idea how he gonna put it back up. And now he got his honchos over there in the city and in the house who were trying to give him as much money as he think he might want to put that building back up.
well, these people have lost their mind.
Completely.
These people have completely lost their mind. And like I said, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it until the cows come home. When you got over 200 million people that just got off the boat, only been here less than 60 years, they don't care about those people. So hey, you don't care. We didn't allow so many people to come here because we needed workers. They made a bundle of money. These immigration lawyers playing that game because you couldn't get Congress to come up with some type of immigration bill. So you had all these lawyers playing that game, going to court, charging these people hundreds of millions of dollars and what have you, making money off of them while they work 2 or 3 jobs, try to become legal. Some of them, a lot of them got through and became legal. But a lot of them just say, hey, forget it. I can't make it. I can't afford it. So they just work undocumented. And they've been here for 20 years, 30 years. But they allowed them to come here because our population wasn't keeping up. Because we needed workers. The American corporations, these little small corporations, these little restaurants and whatever, you know, I don't care where you go, it's a whole lot of foreigners working. And you hear all kinds of languages. I don't know where you live, Ed, but where I live, I go to a major grocery store or Walmart. All I hear is other languages. Are they legal? Are they undocumented? Or are they American citizens? I don't know. I mind my own business. I say, hey, it ain't I am not the government. That's their job. And they allow these people to work and give them jobs and, give them a temporary, number, work permit or whatever. There's just not enough people in this country to keep up with the growth. Because there are so many people that want to start their own business. And it's all duplication, different kind, restaurants and barbershops and car services and house cleaning and all of that. So, and people hiring these people. Because this is the greatest country in the world. America is the greatest country in the world. But these politicians have gotten out of hand. They want to be stars instead of doing the work. Or they want to stop the progress. They got their hand out all over the place. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. And we're not going to keep up with China. I'm sorry. They got more people. He's educating his people. He might have his knee on their neck, but he's educating his people. And these people are learning all these skills and knowledge, come over here and copycat and steal all the different ways, the way we do stuff. Then they take it over there and just duplicate it. And they've been doing that for years. And now they're so innovative now, they have surpassed us in so many sectors, it's ridiculous. But we so busy sitting around here stopping people from getting education. We don't want black people to be doctors. We don't want black people to be engineers. We don't want black people to be lawyers. We don't want black people to do this, blah, blah, blah. So busy trying to stop people from being successful. That's their main job. Stop black people from living in nice neighborhoods. Stop black people from opening up businesses. But we still do it. We get through it. Those that really want it, they have to fight for it.
And we've been fighting, Ted, for hundreds of years. Since we've been here, we've been fighting.
And it's a shame that it shouldn't be that way, bro. It shouldn't be that way. If I'm smart enough or intelligent enough to go into this class and make my grades, and then I end up becoming whatever, it shouldn't be no problem with that. But it is. This is why we are failing empire, because you don't want to be inclusive. DEI stands, and it's a reason why. Equity. If I'm educated and qualified for that job, I should get my equity. You shouldn't be paying me 3/4 of what I should be being paid for. And you give that person 100% payout. If I apply for that job and I qualify, I should be included in the decision making. People are stupid. That's what I say. You want to be competitive, but you don't want to be inclusive. This is America. This is a melting pot. And we've been a melting pot since its existence almost. You allowed so many people in the early 1900s to come here, the Italians, the Irish, the Europeans. And then in the 40s and 50s and 60s, then you start letting the Polish come in here. All different kinds of people come here. And they try to pass for white. You got the Pakistanians and the and the Iranians talk about they white playing the game. But that's okay. Like I said, I'm no ways tired. You know why I'm not no ways tired? Because I got God with me. That's why. I'm nowhere tired.
Nowhere time.
I'm no ways tired, man, because when you and I'm gonna say this, people, you know, now I might not be a big doer, now. I tried to be a big doer back in the day when I was in my 20s and 30s. But when you start having a family, you got to take care of your family. That's why I respect people right now, those people that's trying to take care of their family. They ain't got time for all this BS these people doing to them. But there are young people out there right now, just like I was, and they are doers. They are doers. And there's a lot of people out there are doers. And they way advanced than I was. They're more woke. I like that term, more woke, more aware of their surroundings. They know their history because they have been given more information than we ever got. We had to dig for any little information about our history that we could get. But now it's all out there. So they know what time it is. They see it. But you can't get frustrated. You can't get violent. You can't get, um, you got the white supremacists. They ain't smart enough because they got too much hate in them. That's why Martin Luther King says, love brings is light, hate is evil, darkness. So when they're in darkness, they can't win. Because you know what? The Bible says God is love. And we have to be about love, not hate. We have to be about love. And that's where your genius is going to come in at because what your motive is righteous. You're for righteous, you're for justice, and you're about doing good. But you can't hate. They might hate you, but you can't hate. They might be anti-black, which we're not black no more now, we're just Americans. So all I
Okay,
gotta say, man, I'm nowhere tired. Nowhere tired.
final word.
I didn't say my final word. I'm nowhere tired, bro.
I have a couple of things that I wanted to say. One is that we've been doing this show. We had Ted touch upon something that's probably something that we just have to deal with, and that's education. And if we don't deal with that, the educational part and stuff of this whole thing, Ted, you think our people are behind now, they're going to be even further behind with all this AI and artificial intelligence and nuclear fusion stuff going on and all this high tech uh,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
farming.
whoa, 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 whoa. You just said a term. What the hell is nuclear fusion?
Oh man, you haven't got it. You haven't. Oh man.
I know what
we have
nuclear
we have
is.
yeah, we have these people now. We have these nuclear reactors and stuff down there that are producing energy. Well, now they have figured out and stuff that if you start, there's a certain chemical reaction and stuff there for, and it's called nuclear fusion. And it's if we ever figure out how to harness it, you can put this in anything out there, and this thing keeps on feeding itself. You don't have to do anything with it. Nuclear fusion just keeps on feeding itself, keeps on feeding itself, and
When they
there is
talking
no.
about doing that to humans,
It's going on now. They got it. They have a couple of nuclear fusion reactors and stuff there in China that they are putting on, trying to put online. That's going to create energy and stuff for them for these data centers. And we are, I think there are a few companies and stuff here in the United States and stuff that are working on it. They haven't gotten as far as they have over in China, but they're working on it here. But nobody's talking about it, and you don't have the government really backing them up and everything because of Trump. It's like we keep saying that uh, he doesn't deal with anything that goes on here in this country. The only thing that he deals with is putting money in his pocket or trying to screw some people around or going over there and bothering people outside this country when he should be dealing with what's going on in this country. And that is research and development and stuff. We need to keep on putting money instead of just dumping it all into this artificial intelligence and building the data centers and stuff. We need to have continue to deal with research and development instead of letting them people go to Europe or China or wherever they're going to and stuff now. And because there's so much development and stuff that still needs to be going on. And there's so many new ideas that are coming out that's even better than what we have now. But I put that in there, nuclear fusion and stuff and everything, because it is a thing of the future. And if these folks over there in China or in the Far East and stuff and everything really get a good grip on it and how to handle it and everything, man, it can change this whole world around. And you talking about getting rid of fossil fuels, it'll be a burning oil and coal and whatever it is, and it'll be a thing of the past because they're thinking about building these fusion reactors and stuff, and then putting these things into cars and boats and ships and everything. Matter of fact, I think China has a aircraft carrier and stuff that they built and everything, and it's ran by nuclear fusion. So anyway, we need to have our people and stuff educated and stuff to a point to it that we are keeping up with what's going on,
how
what's
many
coming down the pipe.
Chinese people is addicted to drugs?
So that was my one thing. The next thing and stuff is that we're going to have to deal with our health care and stuff and everything, especially for older people and everything. And we need to start figuring out how to work on that. Because I don't see us sitting there waiting on Trump or the Republicans and everything to bring our health care and stuff back. Because we've already know that there's several million people and stuff who have lost their health care. And we need to figure out how to get that stuff back. I don't know how we're going to do it. But uh, there are doctors and stuff and other folks in this country and stuff now who are sick and tired of our healthcare system and what they have and dealing with these insurance companies and stuff as far as trying to the insurance companies telling the doctors and stuff what the hell to do with their patients. And there's a whole bunch of them out there, Ted, that are very upset about it. So they are trying to put together some kind of a health program and stuff and everything that these doctors and stuff are going to build. So be on the lookout for that. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay, people. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.